Hi everyone, I hope all is well. Yes, today I've decided to be fruitful and focus in um, sharing my experience. Um, One thing, especially when it comes to criminal cases, there are a lot of things that as attorneys and the accused persons we need to focus on. Firstly, if there is a charge, you need to study that charge. And if you have to challenge the charge, then challenge it firstly before it even goes for trial. As attorneys, we have to do that. We can't just accept the charge just because it's written. They might have incorrectly drafted it. You can challenge the charge sheet before you even move to the second one. The law allows you. And the charge sheet can be amended before the matter is finalized. So it is upon your right to do that. You start by looking at the charge sheet. If there's nothing to challenge there, that's the first one. The second one is that then you have other options. It depends whether you have previous convictions or not. You have other objections that you can follow. You can do, if you feel like this is this charge you're not happy about, and it's not something that has to be heard in court, you can do representations, and that is sent to the senior prosecutor. And if the senior prosecutor says no, let it proceed, then you can take it to the DPP. And thereafter, if it fails, then you can go for trial. Again, there's another way of doing it. It depends though. If it's a domestic violence case where gender violence, it's no longer as easy as before. Before you can ask for diversion. However, now with this gender violence cases, it's no longer, I don't think it's something that the courts are readily available. I know that they don't allow it anymore, based on the fact that it's a lot of gender violence cases and it's domestic violence cases, and there are women involved in that. So diversion is where instead of you going for trial and be sentenced, what they can do is they will decide that rather you attend a program. If you've got an anger management problem, they can take you to a program. If you abuse drugs, or alcohol, you can be taken to a program that will help you with that. And most cases, please note, there are people whereby they are family members, they abuse drugs, and then they would open criminal cases, but did not reveal that the person is actually a person that is addicted to drugs. There is a section, actually, you can tell the prosecutor, there is a section that deals with people that are addicted to drugs and that are causing that they find themselves in these criminal offenses. The state can deal with those cases differently. However, our prosecutors, they tend to avoid that. I'm not quite sure, but there is a section that deals with that. So preferably let a proper program be given to a person, then and you open a criminal case, the person is sentenced, they go inside, they don't get rehabilitation, they come out the same. They still, immediately after they are released, they go back to the very same thing. So those are the things that people need to know. That opening a criminal case to a person that is addicted to drugs, who's now stealing and breaking houses to take stuff to sell, it's not going to help them. They need to get rehabilitation. So those are the things that you can look at before you go to trial. If everything fails, then you go to trial. However, even before then, all of us as court officials, being presiding officers, being attorneys, being interpreters, being court orderly, everybody that works in court, we need to follow a certain procedure. There are things that we can't do, including the state being the prosecutor. You have to make sure that everything that we do in such a way that even if you are an accused person, you should not be prejudiced by it. Because sometimes, please note, if you are informed to go do something as a witness, please note, if it's unlawful, it's unlawful. Don't keep it. You need to actually talk about it. You need to report it. So let's make sure that everything that we do, it's upholding the law. Because if all of us, we do wrong things on the side, it's not helping. Then it means we are not going to get the justice that we all want. So all of us, let's be helpful, that we conduct ourselves in such a manner that everybody is going to receive justice. Whether it's the public, whether it's the witnesses, the complainants, whether it's the offender. Please note, some of the people become offenders not because they wanted to. There are reasons behind that. So what we need to understand is, as a society, we need to understand what role are we playing to cause people to act in that manner. As a society, we need to start from now onwards conducting ourselves in a manner that does not violate people. Because really, a lot of people and a lot of us, we're in societies where things, they are normal when they are not normal. Please, if you hear somebody next door crying because of their being beaten, you don't have to wait and say these people have been fighting, so what? Call the police, that's the work. They need to be called and they need to come and make sure that there's peace. It doesn't matter how many times you call the police, that is their work. If you see something, crime, please report, call the police. You don't have to go and tell the people, I'm going to call the police. You just move away and call the police and say, look, this is what I see. Can we start reporting things like this? Let's not just pass because it doesn't affect me. A lot of people have died because people said, it doesn't affect me. I don't want to be involved. You don't have to tell your name. You don't have to tell the police your name. But let's not look at things and say, I don't want to be involved. Then it means you want to see that person that you've seen being beaten to die. And then you still want to come and witness and be a witness. You allowed it, most. You didn't intervene. You don't have to intervene physically. You can intervene by calling the people that can actually come in and assist. That is my prayer to everybody that is in the society. You don't have to go physically. However, you can use your mobile phone to call the police to come and assist. You can call, we now have neighborhood securities. When you call them, they can then go and check and then involve the police. However, let's not just say I don't want to be involved, because a lot of people have died because of us. We said we don't want to be involved. You don't have to physically assist, but you can make a call without anyone seeing you, so that whatever that you're seeing, it can come to a stop. I hope this information will help you. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Bye.